Hold on to your seats and do not scratch your eyes because we're about to witness a tennis revolution. In the world of men's tennis, a teenager has just made history by becoming the world #1. But amidst all the hype and fanfare, the question remains, just how good is Carlos Alcaraz? In this episode, we'll dive deep into the rising star's game, his strengths, weaknesses, and what makes him a force to be reckoned with. So grab your rackets, let's head to the court and explore the world of Carlos Alcaraz. In the picturesque town of Murcia, Spain, a tennis legend in the making was born, Carlos Alcaraz Garfia. With his father being a former top-ranked tennis player and a tennis academy director, it was almost destiny that the young Alcaraz would follow in his father's footsteps. Starting at the tender age of 4, Alcaraz had already picked up a racket and started playing the game he would come to love. As he grew older, Alcaraz's passion for tennis intensified. He found inspiration in two of the greatest tennis players of all time, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. He idolized their tenacity, determination, and incredible skill on the court. It was clear that Alcaraz was destined for greatness. In 2018, Alcaraz's dreams became a reality when he joined the prestigious academy of former world #1, Juan Carlos Ferrero. This partnership would prove to be the catalyst that would take Alcaraz's career to new heights. It's the early hours of a Monday in September 2022, and a tired but ecstatic Carlos Alcaraz Garfia can't believe what he's seeing on his phone. He's just been crowned the world #1 in tennis, a status he's worked tirelessly towards since he first picked up a racket at the age of 4. But Alcaraz's rise to the top of the tennis world didn't come as a surprise to many. Legendary players and tennis experts had been predicting his meteoric ascent for months. 18-time Grand Slam champion Chris Evert had boldly stated that Alcaraz had the whole package and would go on to win multiple Grand Slams and become the world #1. And she was right. Former world #1 Andy Murray had also recognized Alcaraz's talent, predicting that he would do well in long, grueling matches and go on to achieve great things in his career. And again, he was proven right when Alcaraz fought his way through tough 5-set matches against some of the world's top players. Even tennis commentator Jim Courier had joined the chorus of praise for the young Spaniard, noting Alcaraz's impressive creativity and the vast array of options he had at his disposal on the court. But perhaps the most telling endorsement of Alcaraz's talent came from his idol and fellow Spaniard, Rafael Nadal. Nadal had recognized the young player's potential, stating that Alcaraz had all the ingredients necessary to become a great player. And now, with the world's #1 title firmly in his grasp, it's clear that Carlos Alcaraz Garfia has not only lived up to, but exceeded all expectations. But that was just the beginning of his meteoric rise. Alcaraz continued to impress in his subsequent tournaments, notching up big wins against established players and steadily climbing up the rankings ladder. Unlike many other professional players, he didn't need to spend years in the ITF World Tennis Tour or lose a few slam finals before finally clinching one. Instead, he soared to the top right off the bat. With 3 titles under his belt in the ITF World Tennis Tour, Carlos moved up quickly to the ATP Challenger Tour and claimed another 4 titles. In 2020, at the young age of 16, Carlos made his ATP debut at the Rio Open, and despite getting defeated by Federico Coria, he continued to improve steadily. The pandemic may have slowed things down, but it couldn't stop Carlos from becoming the youngest participant in the 2021 Australian Open. He won his debut Grand Slam match by defeating a fellow qualifier in the first round, which was a major milestone for the young Spaniard. At the tender age of 18, he's already rubbed shoulders with tennis royalty, including his hero, Rafael Nadal. Despite losing to his fellow Spaniard in Madrid, Alcaraz's talent and hard work have earned him a place among the top 100 players in the world. And he didn't stop there. With a fearless attitude and a killer forehand, he claimed his first ATP title at UMAG, defeating the seasoned veteran Richard Gasquet. But that was just the beginning. Alcaraz went on to make history at the US Open, becoming the youngest player to reach the quarterfinals in over a decade. And let's not forget his incredible run at the Next Gen App Finals, where he emerged victorious. With impressive wins against top 10 players like Tsitsipas, Berrettini, and Sinner, it's clear that this young star is just getting started. And what a year he had. 5 titles including 2 Masters 1000s and a Grand Slam, all in a single season. catapulted him to the top of the rankings. But it wasn't just about the titles. It was about the quality of his play, the way he dismantled the best players in the world with ease, and the sheer determination he showed on the court. At Madrid, he proved himself to be the real deal, taking down the likes of Nadal and Djokovic before claiming the trophy in a scintillating final against Zverev. It was a performance for the ages, one that will be talked about for years to come. And the best part, Alcaraz is only getting started. As the tennis world watches in awe, the young Alcaraz continues to make a name for himself by taking down top seeds left and right. It's hard not to draw comparisons to the legendary Big Three, who have dominated the sport for over a decade. But Alcaraz's journey to the top is unique and unparalleled, and he's not content with being labeled as the next Nadal or the next anyone. With his 6 ATP titles and the #1 spot at just 19 years old, he's already made a statement that he's a force to be reckoned with. While Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer had to navigate the ups and downs of the tour before reaching the top, Alcaraz seems to have found a way to skip ahead, like a young prodigy who's already realized his potential. The world of tennis has found its newest sensation in Carlos Alcaraz, and his biggest weapon is nothing short of remarkable, the ability to turn defense into offense. Alcaraz has shown time and time again that he's a force to be reckoned with, regardless of the surface or conditions he's playing on. With his incredible athleticism and quick lateral movements, he covers every inch of the court before unleashing his reliable and potent forehand. And even when he's unsuccessful, he makes his opponents hit the ball one more time, ensuring that there are no free points against him. Alcaraz's high peak foot speeds and never-say-die attitude mean that he can transition from being on the back foot and chasing sharp angled balls to going inside out on his forehand in the blink of an eye. Excluding returns, volleys, and overheads, 61% of his 320 ground strokes in the final were forehands, and even half of those 195 shots were run-around forehands, demonstrating just how reliant he is on his forehand. But Alcaraz is an all-court player, and he can count on his destructive forehand to bail him out and open up court positions for winners, whether by adding some topspin or a greatly disguised drop shot. If you're looking for a player who can push his opponents to the brink of frustration, look no further than Carlos Alcaraz. With his unique style of play, he often leads his opponents into making unforced errors, as evidenced by the staggering 181 errors made by Cilic, Sinner, and Tiafoe combined in matches against him. But don't be fooled into thinking that Alcaraz is just a defensive player. He maintains an attack-minded approach to his tennis with an aggressive baseline play and equally aggressive court positioning. You'll often see him coming close to the baseline or even inside it, taking the ball early and pushing his opponents far behind. And just when you think you've got him figured out, he'll reset and come at you even harder. It's no wonder that tennis fans around the world are buzzing about Alcaraz's potential to take the sport by storm. Some are already speculating that he could be the next king of tennis, ushering in a new era of greatness as the Big Three begin to wind down their careers. Of course, Djokovic and Nadal aren't done yet, but with players like Alcaraz on the rise, the future of tennis looks brighter than ever. Carlos Alcaraz is a force to be reckoned with on the tennis court. What sets him apart from other rising stars is his combination of talent, humility, and sportsmanship. His intelligence and resilience are reminiscent of Novak Djokovic, while his willpower and determination mirror that of Rafael Nadal. Alcaraz's game is built on aggressive baseline play and impeccable court positioning, allowing him to push his opponents far behind the baseline and dominate rallies. His ability to turn defense into offense often leads opponents into unforced errors, and his incredible athleticism allows him to cover every inch of the court. Despite all his achievements, Alcaraz remains humble and level-headed, a true sportsman who has maintained incredibly high levels of tennis. With room to improve his serve and backhand, and to close out points faster, Alcaraz is on track to become the best player of the next decade. It's no wonder tennis legends are singing his praises, and fans are falling in love with his style of play. What do you love most about Carlos Alcaraz? Let us know in the comments below. And don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching.